Yo guys, it's JJ here, and today I'm be walking you through how to make a nice dark Nardo Wick beat. But before we get into the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We are less than 20 subs away from 2k subs. All the support's appreciated, and all these drum sounds I'm going to be using are for free. Link in the description. Go grab that. And now let's just begin the video. So, first thing I want to walk you through is the main sound. We're doing this at 148 BPM using contact 7 while pure, and you can see we're starting off in C minor. But all I really do is go back and forth between this G sharp and the G, have this constant C as a root note, and also have this G sharp and G up here, just to increase the frequency range, and that's it. And all I do is go into the playlist, I right click contact 7 over here, click quick render as audio clip, and then we are now left with this nice little audio clip. So all I do is I double click it, open up here, change this to generic so all these little clicks remove. I click reverse, and that's how you want to kind of get that like little dark Nardo Wick feel. And that's all I really did. So without further ado, this is what the main melody sounds like. As for the effects, I kept it simple. I got an EQ cone my lows, added some fruity delay free with this preset that I made, and all I did was just give it a bit of an extra little bit of bounce, and of course some Valhalla vintage verb, as you can see, to add some ambience. For the next pattern, I got contact 7 again, same preset in white pure, but all I did was create this nice little counter melody, going back and forth between that C, G sharp. Then I literally played the whole pattern again the exact same, but the only difference is this C gets dropped down to this F, and just gives it a little bit of variation, a nice little dark tone. And again, we are making use of these notes which were semitone apart, just reinforcing that vibe. And now this is what the counter melody sounds like. As for the effects, you can clearly hear a bit of halftime. Just for some reason, it adds a bit of darkness to sound, and I really like it when I make Nardo beats, so use a bit of halftime. Another EQ, of course, just to cut my lows out, and then again some Valhalla vintage verb, but as you can see, this time I really just drowned the sound out, giving it a lot more ambience and making it more of like an eerier sound. And weirdly enough, the next thing I did was go into contact 7 again, but I got this preset called the Delruba lick from the Ethno World 6 Instruments Bank, and all I did was actually play this one little phrase over here on this G note, and then as I did previously again with the first main melody, I right click it, click quick render as audio clip, and then as you can see, we have now got the main audio clip for the sound. But then what I actually do on top of that is I trim it down all the way to here, I copy and paste it again, and then I just extend it a tiny bit more just to give it a bit of variation. And as again before said, and as I've said before, when I double click it, I actually go here, take it from that transient to generic, gets rid of the clicking sound. Then I took it down 100 cents to make sure it matches with the key, and then I pitched it up a whole octave, just because when everything is such a low octave and low frequency range, it all gets a bit muddled up. So I took it up a whole octave just to separate the sounds a bit more, make it sound a bit more clear and crisp. But without further ado, this is now what that phrase sounds like. As you can hear, that nice little phrase really brought a bit more character and a bit more of a dark feel that we needed. But for the effects, it was simple again. We start off with this nice little EQ, cutting some highs out, cutting some lows out, and I just ducked a few of these little mids. Added a bit of soothe too, just to compress some harsher frequencies. And then Valhalla vintage verb again, just adding a lot of ambience. But now for the next sound within the whole sample, we have got ourselves a Prophet 5. And I am using this little birdsong preset, and I think it's from the Key or the Leeds Bank, just can't remember. But as you can see, a nice, simple, repetitive pattern as always, giving that dark vibe. Going from a G to a C to a G sharp, down into a G, back into that G sharp, C, G, and G sharp again. As you can see, only 3 notes have been used, and those are the exact same 3 notes that we had in that main melody at the beginning. But all I did was just play around with the different pitches, as you can see, up an octave, down an octave, giving it a bit of variation in its own unique way. And then as I said, copy and pasted this literally 3 more times to make a full 8 bar, and this is what that nice counter melody sounds like. For the effects, so simple again, an EQ coloring my lows, Soothe 2 ducking some harsher frequencies, Fruity Delay 3 with this preset that I created, and all I did was just thicken the sound up a tiny bit more, that's why the wet knob is quite low, and again some Valhalla Vintage Verb for a bit more ambience and reverb. And ironically we have the last sound, which is also very important, is the bass. Of course, of all that low end taken out, we will have some own. Of course, of all that low end taken out, we got to introduce a little bass, so we got the little source preset from Analog Lab 5, and all I did was literally just follow the root notes, but bear in mind it's actually not a G sharp into a G, but it's actually a G into a G sharp, because we reversed that main melody if you recall. And then the final bit of change I did to the whole sample, I took it down 2 semitones using the sound pitch shifter, and this moved it from that C minor down into that A sharp minor, giving it a bit of a darker feel. And now this is what the sample from Nardo Wick sounds like. And now of course it's time to move into the drums, and as I've stated before, all these sounds are for free from my essential kit. Link will be found in the description, so go ahead and grab it. First sound though is a nice little rim shot, got a simple pattern, but for variation, have this extra rim shot at the very end of the 8 bar. But now we're into the hi-hats, and as you can see, the pattern might actually look a bit complex, but it's much simpler than it is. And next up we are into the hi-hats, but to be honest the pattern is so much simpler than it looks, and I can just break this down for you quite nicely. First thing I actually did was go into our magnet tool, click third step, because we're using a lot of third step rolls. Sounds really nice with Nardo kind of beats, especially when you got a rim shot as well. I just feel like they complement each other so well. But as you can see, if we go over here at the beginning, got ourselves a nice little pitch down, and this is a third step roll over here as you can see. But then I'll leave a little bit of space over here, just so it's not too crowded with all the melodies going on. Add ourselves a nice little, then I add myself a nice little third, then we add ourselves a nice little 6-beat roll, and coming down over here with a normal step roll, again pitch down. It's the exact same thing as here pretty much, but all I do is just change the roll. Then instead of having this roll going on, I literally have another third step roll, then another third step roll again. I pretty much just copy and paste this pattern as you can see over, but the only bit of variation I actually did on this time is at the end of the 4 bar. As you can see, there's a difference between this and a difference between this, and that's literally it. Nothing more, nothing less. Simple, repetitive, dark energy, dark vibes, and all I did was copy and paste this whole 4 bar once again to create an 8 bar loop. So this is what the hi-hat and the rim shot sound like. Already sounding dark as hell, but now let's get to the 808s pattern. Looking nice and simple. As I said, we have taken this down 2 semitones within the sample, so of course everything has taken down 2 semitones within the 808s. So now we're working with this F and F sharp, and looking at the bounce, it's a pretty straightforward one over here. I have it repeating from here up here, but only bit of variation is including this extra note, and then I copy and paste it yet again, just for some simple repetitive vibes. As for the kick pattern, copy and pasted just the exact same on that root note of C. And another thing I like to do with my 808 to my kicks, I click Control A, highlighting all my notes, I grab that mouse, push that scroll wheel down, and I max my velocities out. And I can't stress this enough, because realistically your 808 and your kicks really drive that dark energy, all that bass, all that power and movement, so you want to max them out just to add a bit of punch, and it sounds way more appealing to artists. So without further ado, this is what the 808 and the kicks sound like. But now it's time for the final 2 components, the open hats. I've got 2 different instances of it. One's this nice little hiss open hat, short, snappy and sharp, hits every 2 bars, you can see at the very beginning on the downbeat. And then I've got this really cool reverse delayed kind of open hat from the kit. Again, every downbeat, every 2 bar, but it happens on the second one over here rather than the beginning over here. And guys, that is literally it. So without further ado, this is what a dark Nardo Wick beat sounds like. And folks, there you have it, a full tutorial on how to make some dark Nardo Wick beats. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you've liked the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. All the support's appreciated. As I said, 20 subs away from 2k, and a free drum kit is on the way with that, so thank you very much for watching, and of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.